Welcome to the NASCAR Film Room, where we break down the latest Cup Series race with the help of the latest Cup Series race winner. My name is Eric Estepp. I am joined by the champion, not just the winner, of the Daytona 500, Tyler Reddick. Tyler, appreciate you making some time. Has it sunk in yet that your name is on the Harley J. Earl Trophy?
Yeah, it has. It's incredible. Everything that comes along with winning this race, like you said. You're a champion of the 500, not just a race winner. And the victory lane, sharing the moment with the team, getting the ring, the Harley J. Earl Trophy, getting to spend an extra night here in Daytona Beach and celebrate, get the jacket, get the watch, cement my legacy, with my hands and my feet. Into the concrete is just, it's special. And it's great to be able to celebrate it with my team and with my family.
There's a lot of extra hardware involved with this race, which has to be pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Oh, my gosh. Well, I don't know about you. My For You tab the last 12 hours or so has been full of NASCAR, Daytona, from people and accounts who don't usually talk about NASCAR and Daytona. I imagine Michael Jordan getting his first 500 win also has something to do with that. What was the first thing MJ said to you when y'all got to victory lane? He
was just really proud. A number of times I've been able to deliver in clutch moments for him, and we did it again. Like you said, we stood it in all day. We played our strategy right at the end of the race to put ourselves in position, and how the last lap started, it seemed like it was falling apart. But I was able to piece it back together and get my way back to the front. Obviously, would not have been possible without my teammate Riley Herbst. He did a great job of pushing me, not just to help me, but to help himself get to the front. I know he got turned at the very end there, but he did everything. He was a great teammate, but he did everything right in my book to give himself a shot to win too.
Yeah, we will break down the final lap because obviously I'm not a race car driver, and most of the folks watching at home are not race car drivers either. But before we get to the finish, Tyler, there were a few near misses in this race early on. Like lap 6, you're running on the inside when BJ had something break, clipped your right rear, and then I have some clips to show you here.
Yeah, I hadn't even seen it yet, to be honest.
This POV of you midway through this race, it was the Justin Allgaier crash way off in the distance. Take us through this, because as you'll see in a moment, we can't see anything.
Yeah. For me, I kind of got shuffled out on the bottom. Where I goofed up, we have to go through this a couple times or pause. A lot just happened.
Yes.
Yeah, you can pause it right there. That'd be great. So I see the wrecking, and I go to the brake, and the car kind of pulls itself down onto the yellow line. So I'm on the yellow line, and I'm damn near crashing myself, and I'm not even in the wreck. So I get all crossed up sideways, go to the brake, realize I'm in a bad spot, so I have to get off the brake, get back on the track, get on the brake again, and everyone's already slowing down faster than I can. So, yeah, kind of unfortunately, I'm just going right to the 43's back bumper, but staying up close to him kind of got me through the beginning of it. And then
it just keeps going.
There's just stuff flying everywhere. I could not believe, we managed to maybe only puff the left front a little bit, locking it up. Yeah, just, I was able to get slowed down, kind of cover myself by being around other cars that hadn't fully wrecked yet, and just kind of waited for the 71 to get out of there off to the left. And then, I kind of decided quickly, instead of coming to a complete stop and getting ran over from the side or behind, I just tried to gun it through the hole and get out of there before they finally stopped crashing.
Gosh, yeah. Well, it wouldn't be the Daytona 500 without a big one and then some big time near misses. Let's fast forward to the finish, but not the final 4 laps. Before that final caution, there's the pit cycle. You were able to put yourself in a good position to be up near the front, and then you get this great push from Carson Hocevar that I'll show now to get clear to the lead. I mean, we've seen it gets sketchy being pushed in the tri-oval like that. So we're on board with Carson here. Yeah,
he did a great job. Yeah, I mean, the closing moments, you're going for it. And you understand that when you get a run, you got to take it. The handbook kind of goes out the window. You try early in the race to push down the straightaways and give people grace in the corners and especially in the tri-oval. But in these moments, I mean, there's no letting up. You just have to understand the risk. Everyone's going for the reward. So, yeah, I was able to race around Hocevar a little bit in the duel on Thursday. he did a great job in the duel. He worked himself to a second place finish. And yeah, I mean, Carson obviously is on the aggressive side with how he's done everything, and he's had his run-ins with different drivers. But time and time again, over the last year and a half, he's done things to prove he's willing to learn and get in the mix and mix it up. And I was very fortunate to find someone like him that was willing to be that aggressive in the closing laps of the race.
And then during the ensuing caution, I heard you say post-race that it kind of started to hit you like what was at stake before the final restart. I was kind of surprised to hear that. Are you someone that invites that extra pressure in that moment?
I think I just needed to, I could tell when the caution came, the emotions were there. I just need to let them in for a minute, digest how I was feeling, if you will. I feel like if I tried to just push it away and just ignore it, it was just going to linger and be stagnant in the back of my mind. So with that caution, I kind of gave myself the couple minutes I had to let the emotions of the opportunity that's about to unfold in front of me hit me and just kind of understand it. I kind of let it just sit in the weight of the opportunity in front of me for a couple minutes. And I think that really helped me then. All right, I've understood it. I know what this means. I mean, I knew what this meant coming into it, but the weight of the moment, just understood it, addressed it for a bit, and that allowed me to, get out of my mind and just focus solely on the closing laps of the race.
And then in the final 4 laps, I'm sure there was at least a moment or two. You were still leading your lane, but there had to be a moment where you're like, oh, this is getting away from me. And then big crash in front of you here. Carson Hocevar gets turned. Michael McDowell, Eric Jones get turned. We'll show your onboard in a second, but what did you see here?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'd kind of lost control, right here. It seemed like the momentum wasn't really there. Then just, push go awry, and I was doing my best not to get in the wreck. And somehow I, again, avoided it. And right here, I thought the race was going to end. Right there where the video cuts out, I thought we were running back to the yellow flag. But the caution never came. And instead of us panicking and wondering why the caution didn't come out, we quickly just adapted. All right, the race is on still. And what do we need to do from here? And yeah, I was fortunate in many aspects that Riley was back there to give me the push, and he chose me over Ricky. And I was able to get my momentum back going and make a late charge at Chase and Zane Smith.
Yeah, when the dust sort of settled from that first crash, you were kind of the only front runner left with a teammate. At what point did you realize, hey, that's Riley behind me? Okay, like when did you realize that?
We were 3 wide there, and I was pulling the 47 back. I'm like, man, I feel like I kind of have to get off of him, or these cars are going to get to us in a hurry with a really big push. But once I realized it was Riley, I felt really good about, okay, he's going to push me. He's not going to push Ricky. He's not going to split us 4 wide. So, once I realized that was what was coming in from my rear view, it was, on me to kind of get myself positioned as good as I could to take a big push and see how far we could go with it.
Well, now we'll talk about the ultimately the pass for the win. Yes, you got a lot of help from your teammate Riley Herbst, but just take us through this final half a lap here, starting with the aerial shot, the move to the outside of Zane Smith. It started there.
Yeah, I mean, I had momentum, and I just wasn't going to push. I wasn't going to push anybody. And, for me, it carried me past 38, and somehow it never stalled out. The 9 kind of comes up to cover it. I was surprised I got this far on the 38, and just the amount of momentum I had, I thought it was just going to stop at some point. It never truly did. I don't know if Chase thought the same thing I did in the moment, thinking my run was eventually going to stall out, and I kind of push him back away. But I had good help, and I think that just really kept the momentum going. Riley gave me that opportunity to get to Chase's left side, and it set Riley up perfectly to potentially, make the race-winning move on his end and get to Chase outside. And he was so close to covering the top and probably having the momentum to win the race. But, yeah, the way we were able to work together there to get us both in an opportunity to win the race was amazing. And, again, I love what he decided to do for himself. Once he got me to the 9, it's like, all right, I got you there, buddy. I'm going to try and win this race too. So I love everything he did. It's a shame, he got turned and everything happened the way that it did. But yeah, I was really proud of my young teammate and how he handled that moment. He helped me, but he also did everything he could to give himself an opportunity to win as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my final question for you, Tyler, when everything sort of broke down on that final lap and there's only 7 or 8 cars in the lead draft. I heard you talk about like racing with instinct, and I think you credited some of that to your dirt racing background. We know how versatile of a race car driver you are, but what is it like in that moment when the plan goes out the window and you're just riding the momentum and making those real-time decisions?
It's the stuff I live for. It's how I grew up racing, trusting my gut and my instinct, and risk versus reward. And it was a very fitting way for me to win the Daytona 500, for it to come down to something like that for me, honestly.
Well, congratulations. It was thrilling to watch, very exciting stuff. I know you got a busy week ahead, so try to enjoy it, embrace it, and thank you for spending some time with us.
Absolutely. Thank you.